Hi, in this video, let's see how to deploy Ubuntu on Vultr and log in via SSH. So if you don't have a Vultr account, use the link in the description to get $300 of free credits. And then let's get started. You can follow along whether you're on Windows, Mac or Linux. If you want to log into SSH and use SSH on Linux, use your terminal. On a Mac, use your terminal. If you're on Windows, download and install Git and then open Git Bash. And that's going to allow you to follow along with me with every command. So I'm assuming you already have your Vultr account. If you don't have one, use the link in the description. It's going to give you $300 of free credit that you can use to test the platform. Let's get started and deploy Ubuntu on Vultr. So to deploy your server, you can come here under compute, under instances, and you can deploy your server there, or you can also use the button over there to deploy your server. You can also use the quick deploy button down here to deploy your instance or anything else that you want to deploy. So let's say I want to deploy this instance. The next step is to select the type of server that you want. If you want a dedicated CPU, that is a virtual server, or you want cloud GPU, that is a virtual server, or even a dedicated bare metal server with a GPU. And you can also go with the shared CPUs. So usually you'll just go with the shared CPUs. Depending on what you need, you can start with the shared CPU. I'll select the shared CPU, and then you can choose a location. This is just a sample, so I can go with any location, but choose a location that is closest to your website users or your app users. So in this case, I'm just going to leave it on Chicago, but for me, it doesn't really matter the location. The next step is to select the type of server that you want. So here there are different types. Cloud compute, these are the older ones. They're the cheapest. And depending on the location, you'll find that some servers are not available in certain regions. So you can always change a region if you're looking for a specific server. Let's go with high frequency. I can choose Intel. Say I want 2 virtual CPU, 2 GB of RAM. I'm going to select that. And you can see the pricing will be $18 per month. But if you look here, you'll see the pricing is different. That's because backups have been added. You can disable backups in the next step. So let's go to the next step by clicking on Configure. The next step is to choose your server, deploy a server, choose your operating system. We're going with Ubuntu. So I'll just deploy. Let me look at the latest Ubuntu, which is 26.04. If you're going to deploy, this is a hint and a tip for you. If you're going to deploy something in production, always use LTS versions, and you'll usually find the LTS versions end in 04. So 22.04, 24.04, 26.04. This is the latest. I'll go with that. Just make sure whatever you want to run can run on that LTS version. And then for this one, we're not going to use an SSH key. If you need a different video showing you how to set up the SSH key, just let me know. Startup script, we don't need that. Firewall group, we don't need that one as well. And then you can just give it any host name. And then additional features. Of course, you want an instance with public IP. You can also allow IPv6. It's free. Get the IPv6. Automatic backups have been enabled, and that's what adding the cost of our server. If you don't need automatic backups, you can disable them, but always just keep them on. You never know, they're very important. One day something is going to happen and your backups will save you. So after that, anything else that you need here, you can also enable limited user login if you don't want to use the root user, but I'll just use the root user in this case. So with that, I can deploy the server. Okay, so let it deploy, and this is going to take less than 2 minutes. So just wait a bit and then we're going to log in. All right, there it is. It's done. So you can click on it. When you click on it, you'll see that your IP is there. Both IPs, IPv6 and IPv4, both of them are there. Your username is there, your password is there, and you can use that to log in. So the first thing, open up terminal. I'm on Linux, I'll open terminal. If you're on Windows, open Git Bash. On a Mac, open terminal. So I'm just going to open my terminal there. I will copy my IP. So to log into your Ubuntu server, just do SSH, and the user is root. Shift at, Control Shift V to paste your IP depending on the terminal you're using. Git Bash, Shift Insert to paste, and then enter. Type yes to confirm. Yes, enter. So come back here, copy the password, Control Shift V. The password will not be displayed when you paste it. Enter. There you go. You're now logged into your server. So the first thing you need to do when you log into your server is update the server. So we're going to do sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade to update the server. Control L to clear the screen. Sudo. I don't need sudo because I'm root, but I think it's just a habit, so I'll just add it. But you don't need it in this scenario since you're using the root user. Sudo apt update, and I want to run them together. Sudo apt upgrade -y, enter. There you go. The updates are complete. At this point, after doing the updates, since this is the first time, you can actually reboot the server. So I'm just going to do reboot, and that's going to reboot my virtual machine. And that's pretty much it. How to deploy your Ubuntu on Vultr, log in and update the server. So if you need to install anything, this is a point where you can now start installing. Maybe you need a control panel. You can see how to do that. You will find tutorials on how to do that. I also have lots of tutorials for how to install different control panels. If you also need help setting up something on your server, you don't want to manage your server by yourself, that's what we do at bizanosa.com. Just go there and check. All prices are publicly displayed, so you don't have to ask for a quote. Just go to the website and feel free to reach out. Before even I end the video, let me just log back into the server. So you'll do SSH, user, and the IP again. And this time round, you can see it doesn't ask you to confirm the key. This time round, you just enter the password. Enter. There you go. So I can see this is here. Let's see if you want to remove this message, you can do so as well. Control Shift C to copy. Control Shift V. You can edit this. We're just going to remove everything in this file. So since I've opened it with Vim, I can just do something like 20 dd, and that's going to delete everything in the file. That's like deleting 20 next lines. So 20 dd to delete that. Shift ZZ to save that. Let's just reboot to confirm that we're not going to receive this message here. Control Shift V to paste, enter. Now you can see the message is gone. This ones as well you can change if you needed to change those, but just leave them there. There's no harm in having them there. All right, so that's it for this video. Until next time, if you have any questions, let me know.